Echoes on the Tennis Court by Nicole Kowalchuk, 12th grade, Cousino High School. Bam! A sharp, pulsing sensation washed over the back of my head. She hit me. She really hit me. What are the odds of her hitting me twice with a serve? I turned to look at her as her eyes filled with apology and concern. The bright yellow tennis ball slowly rolled away, mirroring her need to escape the moment. Her footsteps echoed the ball's quiet journey as if both were trying to flee the heavy moment. Looking through the tennis fence, my eyes focused on her small figure. Her movements hurried and frantic as she was being chased by her emotions. From behind, I saw her left arm jerk out to the side, clearly wiping away a tear. She maneuvered between the green trees, casting shadows that danced around her as she rushed further away. At that moment, all emotions erupted within me. With one hand gripping my head tennis racket and the other holding the chilling ice bag on my head, I stepped off the deep blue tennis courts, not knowing that it would be the last time Andrea and I would play together. I felt an overwhelming mix of sorrow and helplessness, a visceral reaction to her pain. Do I call out to her? Do I tell her I'm not mad? I wanted to shout out to her. My body felt heavy, as if it was anchored in place. Her name was on the tip of my tongue, but nothing came out. It wasn't fear, it wasn't doubt, it was hesitation. So I stood there, paralyzed, knowing that no matter how much I wanted to move, I couldn't. The air thickened with unspoken words and unresolved feelings, each hitched breath carrying the weight of what remained unsaid. A strong urge came over me to message her that same night, to clear the air, to give her reassurance that we are okay. The urge continued to gnaw at me over the weekend, an urge like no other. I continued to brush it off. I continued to ignore it. I vividly remember telling myself, I'll just talk to her in person Monday. A small misunderstanding, not even an argument, made my heart ache incredibly over the weekend. Sunday came around, and I went out to the tennis courts with my boyfriend to get some fresh air. The trees danced around like they did days prior. I stepped on the slate blue tennis court with a deep breath. In and out, in and out. The MAC Blue tournament was in a few days. I knew I needed the practice. We hit around for about an hour, beads of sweat trickling down my face as I pushed myself for excellence. My hand gripping my racket with aggression, something Andrew always told me I needed to work on. From the corner of the court, my phone rang uncontrollably. I unlocked it, looking through the notifications. All missed calls from Sydney and Lena. I smiled, assuming they wanted to meet me and play some tennis. I clicked Lena's icon and placed my phone to my ear. The phone rang once. She had answered immediately. Nicole, did Sydney call you? She said with a quivering voice. Yes, why? Is everything all right? My smile vanished from my face. I really don't want to be the one to tell you this, but I think Andrew committed suicide. I don't know all the details, but Sydney does. I would try calling her. She continued to speak, but everything in that moment turned into a blur. My cell phone slipped out of my hand immediately. I dropped to the ground just like my heart had plummeted in my stomach. At that moment, the world started closing in. My eyes got heavy. As the gray dissipated from my periphery, my boyfriend helped me off the slate blue tennis court. The thumping in my chest made me feel as if it was going to jump out. In this moment of denial, I was still in an abyss, one of self-doubt. What if I had called her? One of blame. Should I have followed my gut? One of anger. Why, Andrew? Why would you do this? I gathered myself with every ounce of my weak being and made a phone call to Sydney. Our conversation dissolved into incomprehensible sobbing on both ends of the line. The what-ifs slowly kept eating at me. It was almost like a parasite growing and multiplying inside me. What if the urges I had about messaging her were a sign? Regret filled me to the brim, as if I were drowning in an endless sea of it. For months, memories of our laughter and shared moments played like a distant melody, reminding me of the light and warmth she brought into my life. I realized that her fleeing was a silent cry for help. I had a desperate longing to turn back time and catch her before she slipped away. Just like Andrew disappeared into the trees, I too vanished into the dark shadows. That court still haunts me. With this new upcoming season, the clarity of forgiveness has not been achieved. But now, approaching the court that's filled with guilt, anger, and sadness, I feel the weight of these emotions coming down on me. Memories of unresolved feelings swirling in my mind. Every time I walk onto the tennis court, I know she's there with me, watching me from somewhere beyond reach. My shoes, with her name on them, is how I keep her close. It's almost as if I were carrying a part of her with me, a reminder that she's by my side, pushing me forward and cheering me on. Now, when I play, I don't just play for myself, I play for her. Even though she's no longer with me on that court, her spirit is in every match, in every move I make. It has taught me that some bonds don't end with absence. She's with me every time I wear those snowy white shoes. I take a deep breath, swing my racket upward and forward, and with each powerful motion, I channel all my emotions into that bright yellow tennis ball. As it soars through the air, I hope that with every spin and bounce, my guilt, anger, and sadness will be carried away, leaving me closer to peace.